喂，你今日飲咗未啊？
飲 orange juice？
青紅蘿蔔豬骨湯
Coffee or tea or me？
飲橙汁？不如試下飲 Coffee Bubble Tea 啦。
Hello， 歡迎大家收聽 Coffee Bubble Tea。咁我係 Tiffany， 我哋今日咧就有Joyce、Colin 同 Samson 喺度，我哋講一個呢排好 hit 嘅一個 topic。咁咧即係如果大家有留意呢個新聞咧，前一排就講啦話政府就想呢個解散呢個中醫管理局，即係唔再去 regulate 一啲喺安省啦做中醫嘅人啊，咁樣即係佢哋唔需要再去註冊啊，唔需要去受訓啊，唔需要任何證書咧，佢哋都可以話自己係中醫師。咁即係話我 Tiffany 我都可以話我自己係中醫師嘅咁樣。咁當然咧亦都引起一大班人嘅protest 啊、投訴啊咁樣啦。咁最終其實咧都已經係呢個 plan 都已經冇咗㗎啦，即係佢會繼續去由呢個中醫管理局咧繼續去 regulate 嘅咁樣。咁其實呢個 topic 我都覺得即係對我嚟講都幾close to 我啦，因為其實我係有間唔中咧都會有食開中醫啊、中藥啊，或者係一啲保健嘅嘢啦咁樣。咁所以都想同大家傾下你哋嘅諗法啦咁樣。我好記得我細個咧，即係唔係細個嘅，都我記得以前咧，即係過嚟翻嚟加拿大嘅時候咧，阿媽咧都間唔中咧，好中意secretly 塞啲海味入我啲行李度，自己帶翻嚟。咁啊，大家聽完就算啦，唔好學啦嚇。咁啊，以前就覺得可能即係都係以前未識揸車啊，唔係對呢個地方好熟，所以都覺得呢啲嘢我喺加拿大好難買嘅，所以咧帶過嚟都有一定嘅意義。咁但係到近年咧，其實你就會覺得，我周街都係海味鋪，周街都係藥材鋪，我甚至去過 grocery store、Chinese grocery store 都好容易就可以即係 access 到呢啲嘢。我想問你哋有冇呢個感覺啊
Yeah, T&T Online Grocery Store
係咯，有 online grocery 添而家，真係方便到咧。
I have a lot and it takes up a lot of space, but yeah, I buy in bulk, so there's just a lot of many different things.
Yeah, my family keeps a storage of just hoi mei and traditional herbs and ingredients. It's everywhere.
即係我以前都有我媽咪，即係我媽咪成日以前嚟 visit 嘅時候咧，都會有一個真係有個櫃桶，真係好多呢啲嘢。咁咧佢嚟到嘅時候就好悶嘅，咁啊即係佢留幾個月啦，通常都咁啊到佢走嘅時候咧就空咗一半啦。跟住空咗嗰一半之後咧，佢下一年嚟咧都仲係嗰個位，因為我唔識煮，嗰陣時未識得煮呢啲嘢，所以咧永遠都係擺喺度，就好似我講鎮住間宅佢擺喺度咁樣。咁同埋即係頭先都講到，真係好容易 access。我記得以前咧真係要去 P-mall 啊，或者我哋嘅咩感受中華啊，而家真係周街每一個 Chinese Plaza 都一定會有一間咁樣嘅藥材鋪啦咁樣。咁講開藥材鋪，你哋睇唔睇中醫㗎？信唔信中醫呢樣嘢？
Yes, I do believe in it, but I can definitely say that I haven't always been the most attentive to it with seeing a Chinese doctor as opposed to, say, my family doctor, for example. So it's always more of a follow-up, or perhaps like if my parents are just like really forcing me to go see a Chinese doctor for whatever reason.
咁但係你係點樣認識到啫？即係爹哋媽咪同你講話啊，你睇中醫啦，西醫可能未必係最好啊，咁樣即係由細到大佢都有同你講呢啲嘢，中醫可能好啲啊，或者點樣嘅。
Well, my parents are pretty traditional with the whole like Chinese medicine and seeing a Chinese doctor. They always suggest to kind of see them before a Western doctor, or like take medication to kind of help with your overall maintenance of your health, as opposed to just taking an Advil and just be done with it, I think.
Well, not on a regular basis. I see it more as an adjunct to Western medicine. So I remember one time I went to a yoga retreat. I pulled a muscle in my face, and it just hurt.
Oh man. 小大提升 Wow. Must be really funny. Holy.
Well, it hurt for for like a week. And back then I was studying at U of T. So one day I decided I have to walk down to Chinatown and get help. And so I literally like walked into a Yok Choi Po and I went to the back and just went to see the doctor, the traditional Chinese medicine doctor. And he did some like auricular acupuncture on my ear, like just stuck some things in and it hurt so much. But then, in a couple of days, the pain went away. And I was like, wow, this stuff works.
但係嗰次係你第一次睇中醫，你就自己一個咁勇咁樣走落去，俾佢針喎，唔係就咁睇喎。
I think I've been open to it. I had backtracking a little bit. There was a time when I went to get a physical exam and I found out that I had low thyroid. And like my aunt said, don't get started on medicine. You don't want to take medicine because once you start this one, you'll be on it for the rest of your life. So she went to her acupuncturist, who in China was a Western medicine doctor. And she said, yep, sometimes the muscles around the neck can get so tight that the hormones can't get around properly. And indeed, like after she loosened everything, back to the blood test, things were normal again. So I think at that point I realized, like there's so much behind it that if I had gone the Western medicine route, I'd still be taking medication for it.
其實 Joyce 講咗一個好，即係我覺得幾好嘅點就係其實即係有少少中西合璧啊！即係你頭先到話即係條頸咁樣，因為即係我自己又即係條頸啦，成日都好衰嘅，即係周不時係痛啊，或者肩頸膊痛，我諗而家都好正常啦，大家坐喺度翻工。咁跟住我都好記得我有一次係去睇脊醫啊。physiotherapy 啊咁樣，咁佢都有，即係佢有同我做刮痧呢樣嘢，我真係望住佢話嚇，呢樣嘢唔係即係 Eastern 中式嘅咩？點解你哋會做刮痧嘅咁樣？咁你係咪會刮到我紅晒啊咁樣？咁即係好好啦，個 therapist 佢就真係有解釋俾我聽，其實真係有個 idea 好相似，就係其實都係想去 release 個 muscle tension 啊。去放鬆啊咁樣，但係咧，即係個刮痧喺中式嚟講，如果大家知啦，就用羹啊嘛，以前即係好多，我隻羹去刮，其實即係個 idea 就係即係一個點樣好圓嘅一個tools 啦咁樣。咁西式個 tools 就有少少唔同啦，但係都係好 same idea。咁咧中式咧就係會刮到你出痧，你唔出痧咧就唔停噶嘛，好紅嘅啫，所以你一行出街知道呢個係一定刮完痧啦。但係咧，原來西式咧好唔同嘅就係你一出痧佢就停啦，即係少少出痧佢就停，係啊。咁我諗呢個係真係少少嘅 difference 啦咁樣，但係都幾特別啦，即係刮痧係其中一個啦。跟住我相信呢個針灸都係啦，即係中西式都係有針灸，咁可能係有少少唔同啦。我相信西式咧，如果以我 understanding， 其實佢哋 more like 係去都係關於個肌肉，點樣去幫你將啲muscle fiber 去 align 翻啊，instead of 中式係可能係真係你個穴位去治你某一啲嘢咁樣咯。咁 Samson 你喺香港有冇做過呢啲嘢？應該都好多。
我其實好細個就做，即係飲苦茶嗰啲就成日啦。然之後我左右腳嘅都甩過臼㗎。好痛啊！聽到就痛。可能係即係 something inborn 啊，即係輪流甩咗一次，咁樣嗰都有做啦。跟住後嚟 spring knee ankle 我都唔記得啦 ，either one 都做過。咁樣近年就 upper back lower back 啊，頭先講起就係我 I crack my finger a lot and it got to a point that I dislocated it
我啱啱前幾日咧就係睇到啲上網啲笑嘅新聞啦，佢就話即係有啲人咧好有嗰啲強迫症，咁佢咧就覺得佢每一條手指嗰隻手指都要拍咁樣啦，
我都有啲，
跟住之後佢強迫症到一位嗰隻手指拍唔響，佢就好大力咁拍，即係大力咁樣拍到骨裂啊，或者係啲手機，跟住我就喺度諗，真係有啲咁嘅人嘅咩？痛嘅咩？好痛啊！
係 it's psychological， 真係心理嘅，所以我係真係我去咗即係我有2-3次咧就甩臼，跟住我即刻去啦，佢都知咩事啊，跟住我就 force myself 呢一個位唔好再掰啦，
第二度疤係咪啊？
拍第二個位，
唔係 just
OK，
not the fingers but everywhere else。
Yeah， 係啊，我有個朋友係睇骨科嘅，咁佢都教如果你真係要剝，你就用第二個即係用第二個方法剝啦咁樣。
我哋唔提倡大家剝手指啊，唔好聽完就算啦，大家。都係啊，即係我由細到大都會聽阿媽講話啊，你頭痛啊，飲啲咩？我煲啲咩湯俾你飲啦。你呢排濕啊，即係春天啊咁樣，香港即係以前香港好濕噶嘛。我哋煲啲去濕茶啊，夏天就去消暑啊，冬天就補啊咁樣。都即係我覺得呢啲咁樣嘅食療啊、中醫啊、藥材呢啲嘢，其實都係幾博大精深。係
啊，同埋係即係其實最多差唔多真係會 daily 或 weekly 聽到就係邊樣嘢食涼，邊樣嘢食燥，熱氣啊，嗰啲就真係成日聽到啦。咁都幾入腦嘅，即係我都會嘗試講呢啲嘢嘅。
Yeah. I never really truly understood that concept. And even now I'm kind of like, you know, it's cold and it's hot and all that kind of stuff, right? Like when you kind of translate it, I guess, back into like the more Western culture, I guess, it was kind of like, I don't know what that means, but okay. Because my mom would always be nagging me to listen, right? So
熱氣啊仔，唔好食咁多啊。
Yeah, or like cut okay, you know, drink this or do that, right? So
但係你知咩嘅熱氣嘅？即係呢個最 common 啦，熱氣你知。
Yeah, I understand.
咁你熱氣你會點處理啊？或者你點樣知道自己熱氣
？Acne.
Okay.
Like oily face, oily something, you know, it's just like if you talk and like you have stuff in your throat, like 好多痰 like those sorts of things too, right? Like the remedy would be to like 煲涼茶 like 煲五花茶 like 去嗰啲藥材鋪啊，飲杯 you know herbal tea 啊。
呢度興唔興24味嘅咧？你可能聽過咁真係知啦，你知道24味。
Yeah, there used to be that herbal shop, the dessert shop at Pimo at Market Village. And then my mom would always be going there to eat like guilingo and all that stuff. So I'd be like eating it with her or drinking some sort of unknown brown tea that I'd never know what it was, but I knew it was like a flower, right? So it would always be like, okay, this tastes, you know, either like fu or sweet. So it'd be like, you know, just drinking it. It just kind of like developed into part of my childhood, I guess.
都好，你都唔係答我熱氣，我都係飲啤酒啊。
I
hear that all the time.
西方文化鬼佬涼茶係啊。
Really?
Yeah,
I've never heard of that.
Our parents say that.
Oh wow. I'm gonna try that now.
再講多次，我哋冇睇。
I'm kidding. I'm not endorsing doing that. Okay, just off the record.
咩啊？啲人食雞翼配鬼佬涼茶係最好噶嘛？你熱氣即刻撳翻落嚟，冇事，繼續食過。咁除咗即係你話即係飲呢啲24味啊，即係我估你講緊咩夏桑菊啊，菊花茶咁樣，即係呢啲可能已經係 incorporate 咗入你嘅爹哋媽咪去湊你嘅 daily life， 即係得閒就煲呢啲啦咁樣。除咗呢啲咧，即係會唔會有啲我知道大家會講咩白花油啊、保心安油啊嗰啲嘢㗎。可能係咁岌頭，可能係咁岌頭。
That would be like the equivalent of treating a headache to like an Advil. Mm-hmm. But the problem I found with that was that I couldn't wear it or put it on and go out in public because the smell, like the oils that it produced was very strong, right? So like if I had a headache and I had to apply it over my head or whatever and go outside, like I had this impression that like it would just be really like smelly and that kind of thing, right? Because it is very potent, I guess. Mm-hmm. So I never really took to it as like the first thing that would come to my mind when trying to cure a headache. I would always go to like the Western medication of like an Advil or Tylenol or something. But I think over the years, I've kind of gotten away from that or trying to get away from it so that I can do more like the natural remedies.
我正正就係同你相反，我頭痛我係唔會食藥住嘅。我真係會諗下點解我會頭痛咧？我係咪因為 未飲咖啡，賣下廣告先。未飲咖啡，未飲珍珠奶茶，講笑啊！即係會唔會係我可能琴晚瞓得唔好啊？琴日出街嘅時候吹親啊？今朝可能洗完頭唔係即刻吹頭啊？即係呢啲咁樣，我會諗晒，我用盡一切方法諗晒，會唔會係呢啲？咁我就可能會有對應嘅方法，即係可能即刻煲杯薑茶飲啊！可能按摩下攞 essential oil 按摩下，啲人話吹下個頭啊咁樣。我做完呢啲佢都冇好轉咧，我最 last step last resource 我先會去食藥咯，都幾特別啊！我諗我係呢兩個嘅咁嘅唔同嘅。
我用藥油係肚痛嘅，細個即係可能細個容易啲啦，咁就肚痛嘅。跟住 if it gets any worse， 咁咧就有隻藥粉咧叫做行軍散啊，行軍散。咁因為我屋企係潮州人，我哋叫鏡罐刷嘅，it tastes really bad， 好苦嘅。咁咧，但係咧真係最差嘅時候用佢咧實得嘅。咁樣係啦，即係藥油就搽喺出面啦。咁食呢個嘢好難食，但係實得。呢
個幾件刷，我意思唔知道讀得啱唔啱，但係我即係 reminds me 我咧，我而家其實咧，即係你講起肚痛咧。因為我係一個好玻璃肚，即係我好容易食到啲唔夠熱啊，或者少少污糟嘅嘢咧，我就即刻好快嚟了。咁咧，即係我諗好正常，大家如果肚屙啊或者咩咁咪食藥咯，係咪先？我又係嘅，我會 go to 呢個 Chinese medicine 嘅而家，唔知點解有一樣嘢叫做我唔知道個廣東話讀得啱唔啱，好似叫藿香正氣丸。咁佢係即係專治呢啲肚痛，我就會成日都係食呢啲先咯，我先至即係真係如果我真係屙到好唔掂啊，或者咩咧，咁我先會真係去食西藥咯。
I'm gonna have to ask you what that is. Like, do you know how it works?
唔知。
Like, I really envy what you guys are talking about in that you like grew up with this stuff. I think because my mom was Taiwanese, she didn't have the same kind of culture, whereas my dad, who grew up in Hong Kong, was more familiar with it. And just the way you're talking about knowing what remedies for what ailments, I'm like, like this is knowledge that I guess in a sense you can take for granted, that you grew up with it, you were steeped in it. And I feel for myself, I had to like learn about it slowly. So I really feel there's like massive gaps.
咁再想問你，即係你嗰陣時即係 pregnant 嘅時候，你有冇即係中式有個方法就唔好食凍嘢，唔好食寒嘢，咁樣，你會唔會 follow 呢啲嘢？西瓜我肯定西瓜係一樣，即係中西式好大分別嘅。
I think I ate it once and my parents yelled at me. They're like, "How could you do that to your baby?"
Do you eat ice cream?
I actually don't like ice cream, so I was okay. But like, yeah, I didn't eat raw food. I didn't eat shrimp. Like, definitely there were things that were like, don't do it. And I was like, okay. But without really knowing why.
You never questioned it, I guess?
I did ask, and they're like, well, you know that lady, she has beautiful skin.
So you kind of just...
And then her baby had bad skin, and you're like, well, I don't want my baby to have bad skin.
Yeah. So I think like sometimes we just listen to what our parents say when we're young. We just don't really have that same question of like why. It's like, okay, if you tell me to do it, I'll just do it, I guess. Like, yeah. At least that's how it was for me.
Like an implicit trust.
Yeah. It was just like, okay, if you say it's good, then I'll just trust you, I guess.
And I think it's a very different kind of science or logic that 即係佢哋都未必識解釋俾我哋。即係我哋聽開 science class 嗰啲原因咧，同 Chinese medicine 講嗰啲 process 好似真係唔同啲咁樣。Yeah。
咁再所繼續 follow up 問下先，有冇坐月啊你？
Yeah, because I didn't want to do anything.
你坐月真係唔出街I mean 即係可能真係要打針啊，同 BB 打針咁樣，但係你即係煲湯啊，啲人好補噶嘛，咩嗰個叫咩米茶啊，咩薑醋啊，煲湯啊嗰啲，你有冇去做呢啲嘢？或者 parents 有冇幫你做？
My mom did, and I have to say she was exceptional because she doesn't cook. But what she did when I became pregnant was she went and like she had friends who are professional people who 幫人坐月, and she went to them and took careful notes and like bought me like all this stuff that I needed. And my sweet mom even like peeled all this ginger and then roasted it in a pan to dry it off so I could bathe in it. And like literally those baths were like, wow, I feel mom's love. Yeah, so like she always made sure I had like red date juice to drink. I would have hot soup. So every morning I'd wake up and I'd like heat up some pork rib soup and just like eat noodles while my baby's watching me.
我飲啲奶咧，點解有排骨湯味嘅？
Exactly. And to this day, she will drink my Chinese herbal soups. I think it's because there was early exposure to those flavors.
哦，真係佢接受到，即係你 baby 佢接受到嘅而家。
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
其實我哋都可能係，我哋好細個嘅時候都媽媽飲咩，我哋咪飲咩。媽媽話你健康啊，飲呢啲嘢你飲啦。
But my daughter actually likes it. I'm like, oh, I have chicken soup. And she'll be, chicken soup. So like, she really likes.
That's good.
Yeah,
你
she really
會煲
likes
煲
it.
湯俾佢飲，你自己都會煲湯。
Yeah, like I realized like as a woman, if you drink certain stuff, you don't get period cramps. And I was like, this is powerful.
我好認同呢樣嘢。我唔知大家。
I can't relate, but I'll take it. I'll take for what you say as
聽
true.
咗先，你而家聽咗先，咁你遲啲就可以啦，好用啊！因為我覺得連浸腳咧，好簡單到你夜晚臨瞓前浸腳咧，都影響好大。我係即係我開始有呢個咁樣嘅習慣咧，1個月前咯。我真係嗰晚啊，第一晚浸完，我即刻睇到有啲 difference 係，哇！我好耐未試過可以 straight up 瞓6個鐘以上。我真係哇，跟住我就覺得哇好爽，原來瞓覺真係好重要嘅。我以前係真係瞓得好差，本身係即係自己瞓覺好差，咪成日都2-3個鐘就醒一醒，跟住覺得哇呢個可唔可以講咧？可以講話係中藥嘅偉大嘅發明。
Do you put anything in the water when you soak your feet?
我會擺啲即係 Epsom salt 啊嗰啲嘢，但係其實啲人話就咁普通熱水咧都已經好足夠，因為其實佢係幫你個 circulation 啊嘛。所以我而家係我唔夠膽唔浸，你明唔明啊？我唔可以講晚瞓都唔可以。我唔浸死啦！我今晚會瞓唔着啊！冇都係浸啦，我好晏，我好攰，夜晚瞓到翻到屋企好攰，我浸咗先。如果唔係我接受唔到。係煲湯都係一個好有學，即係入面都係一個學問嚟嘅。我以前都唔識煲湯，我真係好差。我心諗幾多碗水啊？點煲啊？到你而家真係可能有啲研究去諗下啊，點樣咩點解要落無花果啊？放咩啊？煲啲乜嘢啊？湯啊咁樣，其實都係一個即係我覺得係一個幾好嘅嘢。即係可能其實講到最尾就係食療咯，即係 food science 食療，你點樣去透過食物，因為食物一定係我哋每日都要吸收嘅嘢啦。你點樣去透過食物去吸收啲營養啊，去令到我哋個成個 immune system 又好，你成個人點樣去一個比較好嘅身體，我覺得係都幾重要。
And I have to add that like it's so much easier now as someone who doesn't write Chinese, type Chinese, read Chinese to find this online now. Like I remember like 12, 13 years ago wanting to know this stuff but not knowing like what books. Like I had a friend who gave me a Chinese cookbook in English and I loved that book so much because all the other books I saw at the bookstores were all in Chinese. So the availability is so different now. So really grateful.
Totally agree with that. I think with the emergence of like the internet, YouTube, you're finding a lot of people who are just wanting to share what they've been taught, like, or passed down, and it's easily available now. So for people who may not have necessarily grown up with it or have grown up with it, but they don't understand necessarily like Chinese and all that, like it's becoming more and more popular, I find.
Mm-hmm.
好，我覺得呢個 topic 我哋可以即係再睇下繼續點樣講落去。我哋頭先都真係蜻蜓點水，每樣講咗少少。我哋下次講下每個人嘅煲湯大法啊。 OK， 快啲每一個攞家傳嘅秘方出嚟。
我仲諗下可唔可以講下啲針灸嘅 scary story 啊嗰啲咧 acupuncture。
哇，一定可以，我有啲嘢可以分享，不過我唔係 scary 嘅，不過我即係點講咧？我好安全嘅，但係我都覺得嚇，原來可以咁樣㗎咁樣。即係我聽嗰啲透露下，我聽過啲人講咧，即係佢針完，跟住即刻做拔管咁樣咧，佢真係會有好多嗰啲淤血出晒嚟啊！即係你見到佢啲血唔係紅嘅喎，係黑嘅喎。係啊。anyways 呢個我哋留待下一次下一集再講下。咁係啦，即係都覺得其實我哋嘅 background 啊，我哋 culture 對即係其實對食物，我哋點樣去食嘢，其實都幾呢個影響都幾大。即係我覺得係啦。咁係啦，都提翻大家啦 ，know what is best for yourself。食你哋中意食嘅嘢啦，盡量去食得安全、食得開心就最好啦。咁樣咁同埋即係都係啦，be open mind， 可能去聽下啲中醫啊。再我哋可以交流下，我哋再即係我未需要坐月，未需要嗰啲嘢嚇。咁我哋可以下次再繼續去傾下呢個 topic 啦。咁大家就可以繼續上翻我哋嘅 Instagram 啊，留言啊，俾翻 feedback 我哋啊，或者甚至話俾我哋聽你想聽啲咩 topic， 我哋可以一齊傾下偈咁樣。我哋下次見，
拜拜，
拜拜。